Good morning, Houston. It is a soggy Thursday, March 21st here, and we'd like to thank you all for joining us on Up to the Minute. I am Daniel Scholl. I'm a financial coach with, obviously, with Houston Community College, and I am hosting this morning with Dr. Rima Adil, who is the Dean of Student Success for the Houston Northwest College. And good morning, Rima. How are you? You're muted, Rima. Still muted. That's all right. When Rima gets off mute, she's going to share with us how to find us on social media.
I am here.
Excellent. We're glad you're here this morning.
I am so sorry. It's been raining hard and I hardly make it here. I was in the breakfast this morning. But let me tell you how to find us on social media. We're live on Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube. And not to mention, we're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. Thank you. And yeah, it's raining pretty good out there in Houston today. So everybody hopefully is somewhere safe watching this. If you're driving, keep both hands on the wheel while you're listening. Today, it's Thursday, Family Fun Day, and we also have National Women's History Month going on. So we're going to spotlight some performers from HCC's American Women Composers Recital. And with us today, we've got Frances Fenton and Dr. Hannah Percival, both HCC music faculty, and Dr. Kathleen Ruhleder, who's the director of music from Snead State Community College. Good morning, ladies. How are you all?
Great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Glad that y'all are all here this morning. Good morning. We're going to be with you a little bit later. First, we're going to talk to our about our libraries. We've got HCC Student Library Council is celebrating Earth Day soon, and here to tell us all about it is Rumela Bose. Rumela, good morning.
Good morning.
So you are the Public Services Librarian and Innovation Fellow for 2022 at HCC Central.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting. What is the Innovation Fellow? Real briefly, what is that about?
So in HCC, they do have a program every year called Innovation Fellows, and that's in West Houston Institute. And I applied, and then I was an Innovation Fellow for 2021, 2022. And we get to spend time at WHI, learn more about innovation, how we can help the community after we become innovation fellows. So,
oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, before we get to Earth Day, I know you've got something really cool going on, and I don't know if that's maybe through your. I mean, obviously, this is very innovative. It makes sense that you won that. So you've got something called the Passive Plant Program going on right now.
Yes, so I'm in HCC Central campus, Central Library, and we are having a month-long plant identifying contest. It's like a passive programming call, Do We Know Them? And we have very large plants in the library, and my supervisor, Erica Hubbard, and two other librarians, Yadira Smith and Bethany Herman, they are like plant mamas. They do gardening, they're into plants, and they really take good care of those. So it's their idea that why not we invite our students, community, faculty, staff, whoever comes to the library, get to know them better, the plants we have, and kind of name them. And we have about 10 or 15, and we created this brown paper bags where they can put the names about the plants, and outside the brown paper bag we have information about that plant. So we are getting some really interesting names. And since it's a contest, so we will be choosing and displaying the names during our Earth Day event. We'll have some goodie bags and 3D printed name tags for the first three winners.
So when you say name the plants, you're not talking about that's giving the scientific name, you're like, that's
No,
Lois. You're
no,
right.
yes, it could be like Rebecca, Sam, Snoopy, whatever they would like to name them. And then we will choose the three winners who we think would be like, the best one for like, by looking at the plants, looking at their like names and everything. So it's a fun one, but I think it's important that because students actually come to us and talk about those plants. Like, we probably need to put some more water to those plants and stuff like that. So that's kind of like, the main idea behind it.
Oh, that's wonderful. That sounds like they're having a lot of fun. And as students, as they progress into life, right, they're going to learn more about plants, which is exciting. I know when I bought
Absolutely.
my house, it came with plants. I had no idea what they were. I had no idea how to take care of them. They all quickly died, and so
And
this is like an added bonus of education here at HCC.
absolutely.
And again, in that same vein of taking care of the world and the plants, you've got Earth Day programming
Yes.
coming up.
Yes. So this is actually the first time, like, we are organizing the Earth Day, like, event. And we had to have a library club, student library advisory council. And and we are this year actually like, planning the event on the Earth Day, which is Monday, April 22nd. It will be in Central Campus, like, in Harmon Building, room 100. And the reason behind is like, libraries, like, we have materials related to environmental issues, sustainability, conservation, planting, gardening, global warming, and anything related to like environmental, like, issues. And the main theme for the Earth Day is to raise awareness about various environmental issues that we are going through. So that's why we decided why not we will also make like, students and the community, make them aware about the library resource, and then also make them aware about the significance of Earth Day. So that's the main reason for organizing this event.
No, I think that's great. My on a side note, my wife is a librarian at a public school
Awesome.
district. Yeah, so I have a soft spot for librarians. But so often she hears from time to time, "Oh, libraries, they just have books." Libraries are so far beyond books.
Yes.
They're really
Yes.
dynamic. Now,
Yeah.
on this Earth Day, you've got events going on too, right? And it's not just
Mhm.
awareness. You've actually got some.
No, yes, absolutely. So our program will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will have a guest speaker, Stephanie Gray from Texas A&M University. She also teaches the gardening classes that HCC offers online. So she's also planning to bring her online students to our program. And then, of course, we will have our sow and grow seed swapping like event during that like time. They're like they don't have to like, and it's not required to bring the seeds because we have made about 60 native wildflower seed packets with instruction for giveaway. And then also we have the Texas like the cornflower seeds as well. And
That's
yeah.
great. And it's spring. Everybody loves their
Yes.
Texas wildflowers. I
Yes.
also understand that you've been partnering with the Vast Academy on this.
Yes. So I don't know, like, anybody knows, but every year during April, during Earth Day, Vast Academy actually organizes a poster competition, and each year they like select a theme. And during the pandemic, I was one of the judges to like, for that poster competition, and I was amazed to see the wonderful work the students did. They created digital posters or even like handmade posters. And so we decided since we are doing the Earth event, why not? We partner with the Vast Academy, and then they can come and showcase the posters that the students created. So it's kind of like, it will add more awareness about the Earth Day. And this year, their theme, the Vast Academy's theme is global warming. And Earth Day's theme in general for 2024 is planet versus plastic.
Wonderful. Well, that's great collaboration there. I'm sorry, I was about to say Dr. Bose. Rumela, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all this information, and thank you for all the information that you are giving our students and the community in general. Again, this has been Rumela Bose. She's Public Services Librarian, Innovative Fellow 2022 for our HCC Central College, and we'll have your information on our post after the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. You're always welcome. And now I'm going to turn it over to Rima.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. That was great. Learned a lot about the library information. Next, we have Francis Fenton and Dr. Hannah Percival. Both are HCC music faculty, and Dr. Kathleen Ruhleder, Director of Music at Snead State Community College. Welcome, ladies, to the show.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate you joining us. We wish we could have hosted all the performers in tomorrow's recital, but we have limited time, but we really appreciate you all are here. So Francis, let's start with you. The show will spotlight American women composers. Tell us how it started and what you would like to achieve with the recital.
Oh, this was a very happy collaboration with Dr. Kathleen Ruhleder, who used to be at HCC and moved recently to Snead State. And we did this last year. We started out talking about women composers in general, because really until the late 20th century, they were very neglected in most music history, music appreciation books. But that was such a broad topic that we narrowed it down to American women composers. So this is American Women Composers 2. And even so, there's such a broad selection, it's very difficult to choose which of our excellent American women composers we are performing. And Dr. Hannah Percival is fairly new on the faculty, and we were talking about we really wanted to make this an inclusive performance. And I was delighted to find out that she was excited about promoting American women composers in general, but particularly American women composers. So this is really a team effort. What we hope to achieve. When the recital happened last year, some people were so surprised. They said, "Oh, I never knew that American women wrote such beautiful music." And this was only a bare sample. So we are going to have a few, maybe one or two repeats because of the very unknown composers, and expanding on to some of our more new composers. And I'm so excited that Kathleen and Hannah are so on board with this.
I'm glad that Kathleen has moved on, but you all are still a good team. So maybe let's hear from Kathleen. What can you tell us about the historical treatment of women composers as well as recent efforts at diversity?
Well, the history of women ties right in with the history of women in music, right? Our roles in society for much of recorded history were very, very limited. And we just a couple of examples in music, when we talk about Schumann or Mendelssohn, the male composers associated with those names pop up, but Clara Schumann, Robert Schumann's wife, was also quite an accomplished composer. Fanny Mendelssohn, older sister of Felix Mendelssohn as well, but they were discouraged from having careers in music because of very strict stereotypical gender roles. Things obviously are much better now, but we're still struggling with that legacy of gender roles. But there have been lots of recent efforts to help educate people about all the fantastic women in music out there. There are databases now of women composers. A really good one is the Boulanger Initiative database online. There are podcasts. There's one I just recently started listening to called Listening to Ladies, and it's interviewing living women composers. Right here in Houston, there's the Montrose Project, which is celebrating women composers here in Houston. And you can find women's music festivals at universities all around the nation. So it definitely is something that's really taking off right now, educating people about women in music.
Hey, that is awesome. You know, the work that you all are doing, empowering women. And these days, it's just wonderful to see how women are making their way in every industry. Not only that, you know, they're pulling others that road. So that is wonderful. And music is not something where women were not involved. But, you know, it's good to see how the work is being done intentionally. So let's now hear from Hannah. Hannah, let's bring you into the conversation. Can you give us a selection of contemporary composers who will be represented at the recital?
Yes, so I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about the piece that I'm going to be performing. I'm performing A Thread of Hope, and this is composed by my dear friend, Dr. Elise Kaler. We met in grad school, and we shared a desk all throughout grad school. And now she's a professor of music composition at UT Arlington. And I'm very excited to perform a piece by someone that I know who is currently a professional composer, because as Dr. Ruhleder pointed out, similar to how Bach and Mozart, those names are so synonymous with excellence in music, that's because colleagues that were also similar to them would promote their music. So I'm very excited to be promoting female American composers in music. And I'm very excited that as the field becomes more diverse, both in gender and nationalities, that the music that's being created is becoming so much more diverse and exciting too.
Absolutely. And let's just stay with you, Hannah. I know that this needs a show of its own, maybe a 1 hour show, because there's so much information you all have. But let's quickly, in a minute or less than a minute, tell us how women composers have worked collaboratively and describe the cultural shift in recent years.
Yeah, so I think that in general, because women or other underrepresented groups have not always had the power that they have, an exciting thing to watch is that as these underrepresented groups gain more power, they're very eager to reach out to other people and empower them along the way. For example, I was the only music theory, let me rephrase that. When I was in school, I never had a female music theory professor. Now there's the gender gap is becoming much less. And also I have noticed that in the past 10 years at the Texas Society for Music Theory, the conferences, the populations have become much more diverse. There's much more student engagement. And the presentations are becoming a lot more diverse, so that we're actually engaging with music that people are currently listening to on Spotify or YouTube. And so it's influencing the way we look at video game music and just the way that we look at music as a whole in a field. So it's a very exciting time.
That is wonderful. So going back to you, Kathleen, what do you think it's important that there be cooperation and companionship among women music faculty?
Well, some of the things that Hannah said covered that. There still is a huge gender gap between male and female college professors in the music field. We have 62% of our faculty nationwide in music are male, 38% are female. And so, again, we want to represent the student body that we're serving. And in order to do that, we need to have more diversity of gender, more diversity of different cultures, of different backgrounds. And so, you know, we are forming lots of networks where we support each other. It's definitely needed.
Of course, and we need more mentors like you, of industry full of mentors. So let's see, Francis, we want to end with you, giving us the details of the event, including the names of the other performers besides the three of you.
Great. This event will be held tomorrow night at the Stafford Recital Hall, which is 9910 Cash Road. And the other performers besides us three There is another HCC music faculty member, Hope Shiver, who will be performing with her sister, also a composer and a noted music educator. And Dr. Sharon Radionoff will also be performing. One of our former HCC longtime faculty, Mary Hines Lee, was scheduled to perform but is unable to. And so I'll be singing one of her arrangements that to represent that we have a solid musical faculty even here in Houston, female musical faculty, I should say, women composers. I really hope people will come to this. It's free. You don't have to register. Just show up and hopefully enjoy the performance.
All right, we're so looking forward to the performance. And thank you, Francis, Hannah, and Kathleen for being on the show. We will have your information posted after the show. Back to you, Daniel.
All right, thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Rima, for that wonderful interview. Rima, we've got so many exciting things going on at HCC, but this is not all, is it? We've got a lot more coming up. Starting with, we've got the Global Model UN this Saturday at the West Houston Institute. Students and high school students can connect and learn and lead on the global stage as the UN Association and HCC present the annual Global Houston Model UN. This is a mock UN and will be set up with countries from around the world being represented to solve its most pressing issues. This is going to happen from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, March 23rd, again at our HCC West Houston Institute. Check out the post after the show for more information.
For next, we have the Student Veteran Transfer Fair. HCC's Student Veterans of America Club is hosting a transfer and resource fair for vets and their dependents to get support for their next steps in life. Do not miss this event at Central Campus Learning Hub, 10 a.m. Tuesday, March 26th. Check our post after the show for more info.
All right, we've got the 2024 HCC Math Challenge coming up. There's going to be awards, gifts, and maybe even an internship. The Math Challenge is a competition designed to gauge students' math skills and pique their interest in STEM fields. Current HCC students are encouraged to apply, and awards can include gift cards, a tablet, calculators, and even a summer research internship. That includes a stipend. That's going to be taking place Friday, April 5th at the Eastside campus in the Angela Morales building.
And we have heard from initially from one of our innovation fellow. They are recruiting new innovation fellows. So Innovation Fellow Program, the application deadline is approaching for the 2024-25 Innovation Fellow Program at West Houston Institute. This opportunity for professional growth is designed to develop the higher education mindsets and the skill set. Submissions are reviewed and interviews are scheduled in May. However, the deadline to submit is March 30th. Don't miss it. Check our post after the show for more info.
All right, we've got a drama production coming up, Macbeth in a Bookshop. While waiting in line for a book signing event, a group of customers and employees decide to perform the book's most famous work of crossover fan fiction and learn about friendship along the way. Performances will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, April 11th, 12th, 13th, and 15th. Don't show up on Sunday. You'll be waiting by yourself. Those performances are going to take place at the HCC Central campus at the MERS stage. For times and information, we'll have information on our post after the show.
And don't forget, the spring classes are still available. If you are trying to get a class out of the way, this is the time to consult with your advisor. These classes start late but finish at the same time. Like all of HCC courses, they are offered in a variety of options. Online anytime, no established class meeting times unless listed. Online on a schedule, meeting times are set and course meets online. Hybrid options, lecture class meets partially face-to-face and partially virtually. In person, Obviously, face-to-face courses with traditional knitting patterns at various campus locations. And finally, hybrid laboratories that are studio courses. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, visit our website, www.hccs.edu/apply.
All right. And coming up, we're going to be discussing the upcoming annual Scripps Spelling Bee, which is going to be hosted by HCC. And tomorrow will be Film Friday, followed by next week's Mental Health Monday. On behalf of Rima and myself and everyone here at HCCTV, I'd like to thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Stay dry and stay safe, Houston.